So, is it possible for there to be an effective door-to-door gun confiscation in the United States? I know a lot of people would like to say no, but keep in mind that it has already been done. It was done in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina when New Orleans Superintendent P. Edwin Compass was quoted as saying, "No one will be able to be armed and guns will be taken, that only law enforcement will be allowed to have guns." And in fact, that is exactly what happened. At a time where there was no phone communication, cell or landline, in a disaster zone with no way for people trapped inside some districts to defend themselves, while gangs of people were looting door to door, the state was also looting door to door with law enforcement officers traveling in packs with fully automatic weapons and body armor, taking firearms from law-abiding citizens, often at gunpoint, without even a receipt for the residents to prove they even ever had a gun. They were literally robbed at gunpoint by law enforcement officers and left helpless since there was no phone communication. Now, some of these people did eventually get their weapons back, but only after years of court battles with the state. So what do you do when a dozen law enforcement officers show up at your door with body armor and fully automatic weapons? Well, if you're alone or you have children to protect, odds are most people may end up surrendering, just like the Katrina victims. I know you don't want to hear that, but without a way to communicate and band together, that is how it will go down. You might say, they don't know exactly where my gun is. Well, they don't need to know where every gun is. They already know who you are, and if they know who you are, they likely know where you are, or in most cases can figure it out. How do they know? Let me ask you. Do you have a gun license or a carry permit? Did you ever fill out a Brady Bill form or use your credit or debit card to make a firearms or ammunition purchase? Believe me, they know who you are, and in most cases, they can find you. Now you may say, America is such a big place. They couldn't possibly do this countrywide effectively. Well, they don't have to. All they have to do is sweep area by area, which they can shut down and police very effectively. Or don't you remember how quickly Boston was shut down during the marathon bombing? Or perhaps you've heard of Thunderbolt 15. It was the 2015 triad crackdown in Hong Kong where police rounded up over 51,000 suspects in door-to-door searches. That's 51,000 people rounded up on suspicion. Yes, folks, it can be done. If the Chinese can do it, so can we. You might also say, well, the police took an oath. They wouldn't do that. Tell that to the survivors of Waco. Remember what railroad developer Jay Gould said? I can hire one half of the working class to kill the other half. And indeed he did. He was well known for hiring huge gangs of armed thugs to bust up protesting workers. And the modern day huge gang of armed thugs is unfortunately very often groups of law enforcement officers. Okay, so enough being negative. How do you fight this? Ultimately, you need to have a way to communicate. Assume your phone won't work. Your landline, computer, and cell can be easily cut off ahead of a raid. Have other ways to communicate with like-minded individuals or group members if you're part of a prepper group, patriotic group, or militia. And if you are part of one of these groups, keep an open mind to banding groups together in times of crisis. Be the fingers on a fist and know when to make that fist. Be willing to back up your brothers and sisters out there if law enforcement piles up on their doorstep for confiscation. Do you remember the Bundy Ranch? How did they get their cattle back? Because armed citizens band together to face off with the establishment and the establishment blinked. And why did they blink? Because they fully expected everyone to roll over and be a good doormat, and it didn't happen this time. So don't be that doormat. Communication and a willingness to work together, people. That's how you're going to stay strong. So I hope you found this video helpful and informative. If you have any comments or additional suggestions, feel free to post your thoughts in the comment section down below. Please do give the video a thumbs up if you got something out of it. Share it if you can, and subscribe if you're new. Check out some of the other videos and hit the notifications icon so you will be alerted when new content comes out. You can also find me on another YouTube channel called Coffee Talk. Check it out if you get the chance. And if you would like to help out this channel, you can find links for that down below. Every little bit helps, and I sure do appreciate it. And that being said, as always, stay frosty, folks, and thanks for watching.